Friends, so many people make well-researched historical YouTube videos and their observations are amazing. They study the DNA of the ancient people, match it to some present-day population and all that. That's fantastic. And in fact, I learn a lot from them. However, after doing all that, they arrive at wrong conclusions. Recently, I was watching a video about the ancient Sintashtans people of the southern Ural steppe region, where they have a lot of rivers and places with Sanskrit names, and hence they concluded that these people, after living there, moved into India, which I don't find convincing. Now, it is true that some people came to India from that general direction. Do you know why? Well, it is to do with the worldwide flood all the major religions and cultures agree upon. When the flood receded, according to the Bible, Noah's Ark landed at Mount Ararat, situated near the Turkey and Armenian border. From there, Noah's descendants spread to Africa, Asia, and Europe. The Aryan people, who were the sons of Shem, came to India. However, there is an incident that occurred in India was behind their move. What happened was that Noah's eldest son Japheth, known as Yayati in the Indian literature, renounced his kingdom to his youngest son Puru in search of fleeting pleasures. Here's some Mughal period painting depicting that scene. So Noah was concerned and brought his righteous son Shem over to Puru as a co-regent to rule the kingdom. This I am quoting from the Vedas. By the way, Noah is mentioned as Sranjaya and Shem as Divodasa in Rig Veda. Shem established a coalition government with the Purus, and Shem, who is King Bharat, headed the government. He was the one who gave the name Bharat to India 5,000 years ago. Later, when Shem passed away, the Purus asserted their position and they drove away the Bharatas, who were the Aryans, out of India. When the Aryans left India, they settled in the Aryanam Veja that you see on the screen and moved further towards steppe and further into Europe. This is also the reason behind the formation of the Indo-European languages. Meanwhile, the new rulers of India called themselves the Kurus, who were the descendants of Japheth, who had indeed come from the Uttara Kuru, which is the Siberian region. One can read it from the Vedas and Mahabharata. So, this specific group of people, in spite of their DNA connection with India, were moving out of India after barely spending a few centuries in there. I say this because these people had a few things that developed in the land of India. Even the Sanskrit names, if we have some Vedic knowledge, will form a timeline. For example, when Yayati was ruling, King Bharat was not there. During the time of King Bharat, Indra, who is the biblical Mizraim and the Zeus of the Greeks, came from Egypt to India. Soon afterwards, Krishna came to India from the city of Kish in the Near East, along with Dasharatha and Vishwamitra, and stopped the Indians from paying tribute to Indra. So, if the Sintashtans had named one of their rivers Indra, this means that they had been in India when Indra came, or when his name was already popular there. Now, this is how I go about gathering data and come up with a story which will fit well with the rest of human history. It is my opinion that in our historical research, we cannot neglect the wealth of knowledge that the Holy Bible has to offer. The Bible is not a regional literature which tries to glorify one group of people or a nation, and it has a lot of data on many prominent historical figures about their times, their locations, and their interactions. Time and again, archaeology has proven the Bible. And at times, biblical data has helped identify and locate their dig sites. Here, I would like to quote Dr. Nelson Gluck, who is attributed to have discovered 1,500 ancient sites across the Middle Eastern region. He says the following: "It may be stated categorically that no archaeological discovery has ever controverted a biblical reference. Scores of archaeological findings have been made which confirm in clear outline or in exact detail. Proper evaluation led to amazing discoveries." Well, moving on with our story, the post-flood data of the Bible easily merges with the Vedic data because they both talk about the events of the same period. As an added bonus, I also belong to one of the oldest ethnic groups of our world, namely the Tamils, who have some ancient literature which points to many ancient characters such as the biblical Ham and Shem. To study any subject comprehensively, these are all helpful tools, friends. Thanks for watching.